Hello and welcome back to the Empowered Podcast. My name is Deanna Deacon, and I, as always, am very delighted that you're here to join me. Today, as we continue our intuition mini series, I have a topic I really am excited to talk to you about. It's intuition and inner peace. Now, obviously, that's a pretty broad topic, and there's a lot that we could discuss there, but there's a few things that I really want to showcase and share and just bring some light to for you. Maybe it's something that you already know and you're just bringing yourself back to the awareness, or maybe it's something that you haven't really considered before. And if so, I truly hope that this episode is going to be a moment in time that you will never forget. I do have a little bit of some congestion. For those of you who have young children at home, I think you can relate that as soon as your tiny human or tiny humans end up with a cold, you know it's inevitable that in the next few days you will get it, especially when they sleep on top of you all night long, which, to be honest, I quite like. I did ask for my sweet little 2.5-year-old to not to breathe on me at night, but his favorite is to like nuzzle right into my neck. And I have a hair elastic around my wrist, and he puts his hand in the hair elastic and we hold hands together, and that's how he falls asleep. And like, it's worth it. I will get a cold any day if it means that I get to have snuggles like that with my sweet, sweet little angel. So you may hear that in my voice if you're familiar with what my voice sounds like, but I couldn't not record today because first of all, I'm feeling inspired and delighted and so grateful to have this opportunity to even have some form of a platform that I can share something on and that people actually are interested in. So thank you. um, and the more that I lean into this idea of intuition, the more I realize that it's so much deeper than some of the basics of what I can share with you in this podcast. And yes, I'm going to share as much as I can, but it's so much more than just like a skill to develop of communication with your intuition. It's like a way of being, to live aligned with the magic of who you are, and to live in the awareness that you're so much more than just your thoughts, or you're so much more than just what you feel in your body. You're so much more than your goals in life. You're so much more than your name and your personality and your age and your looks and your everything. You are this incredible manifestation of God, of the universe experiencing itself. It's just getting to come and connect with you like this has really reminded me of just how important this work is. And for that reason, that is why, for those of you that are listening to this episode and that are following along with this mini series, that's why I'm offering each of you the 50% off from my course, the Intuition Series, which is going to allow you to take these types of conversations significantly deeper. And it's going to be so much fun to go through this course together. There's 5 modules. Each of them are 90 minutes. So there's a lot of beautiful information for you to learn it'll give you the really solid foundation and framework of understanding more of your intuition. And then there's so much more added into it. I'm going to share a little bit at the end of the episode about some of the resources I've created just recently to add into the experience of the Intuition Series. So keep that in mind. And if by chance you're following along with this podcast at the time that I am announcing it, I want you to know that I'm going to be running a live version of the course starting September 21st, 2025. So make sure you come and join us before then so that you get some time with me every single week, because I'll be guiding you through some very potent meditation and activation of presence every week that we journey through the course. But anyways, that's going to be coming more towards the end. If you are the type of person who needs to just figure out what I'm talking about right now, at the bottom of my screen, if you're watching on YouTube, there is the link deannadeacon.com/intuition series. And remember to use the coupon code podcast50, and that gives you 50% off the course. Lifetime access of the course. You can go through it as many times as you want. And anytime I do a live version of it, you're invited with no additional cost. So it's a very good deal. Anyways, coming back in. Intuition and inner peace. I thought today it would be helpful to start with what happens, or what can life look like? What can life feel like if we're not listening to our intuition? What are some of the experiences that we may be having in our life? And before I fill your head with some ideas, I want you to take a moment. So just in whatever it is that you're doing right now, whether you're cleaning around the house, you're driving somewhere, you're lying in bed, you're out for a walk, whatever it might be, take a deep breath. And ask yourself, what does it mean? What does it look like? What does it feel like to live not aligned with your intuition? What does it look and feel like when you don't trust that inner guidance? When maybe you might feel that inkling or that nudge or that impulse from within, but you choose not to follow it. Or maybe you don't even hear it, you don't even see it, you don't even feel it. What does life look and feel like for you when you're not living aligned with your intuition? For some of you that are watching or listening, you might not know what the answer is because maybe this is brand new for you. And maybe you don't know what it's like to live with your intuition, so you don't know what it's like to not. But for those of you, I know there's quite a few of you who you're not new to intuition. This is something that you've been dabbling with and playing with for years. So I really want you to get clear on what is it like in life when it's not flowing the way that it can. When I was reflecting on this for myself, one of the biggest things that I personally have experienced in the past and I've noticed is so important for my clients, that has been a game changer for them when they start living aligned with their intuition, is when they're not aligned or they're not listening, there is so much energy expelled, quote unquote, wasted on the mental agony of trying to make decisions. Do we want to go on that family holiday or not? Should I start that business or not? Do I want to eat this certain way or not? What do I want to wear today? Like, it can be from the most minute little decisions that you make all day long. And if you are a mama, I get it. You have a lot of decisions to make. You are caring for tiny little humans. Often there's a lot of negotiating as well, but there's a lot of mental energy that gets, in my opinion, wasted on trying to figure out what the best answer, the best decision is. And especially if you have like a major decision coming up in your life, whether it's whether or not to sell your house and buy a new one, or to make a certain investment, or like some of the big things in life, there's so much mental energy that goes out to trying to figure that out. But then even down to those very small details of every single day. If you find that you're quite exhausted and drained, it might be partially because there's a part of you that's just spending so much of your precious energy and time trying to use your mind to figure everything out. But when you take a break from that and you realize that on the other end of the coin, living aligned with your intuition means that you can actually have the answers presented to you, which is incredibly special. It's really amazing to realize that you don't have to cognitively figure everything out. When you live in alignment and trust with your inner guidance, you put yourself more in positions to receive that inner guidance rather than agonizing over trying to figure it out. This concept of like wasting, quote unquote, our mental energy, I think is important to understand, because when we live believing that we are our body, our name, our age, our thoughts, our patterns, our personality, when we believe that this truly is who we are, it means that we don't allow ourselves the gift of understanding that there's a lot more available to us than what we can experience right now. What we have available in our mind is based on what we've learned in our life, which means it's very limited. You have to have experienced it or read about it or learned it or been taught it or been indoctrinated into it for you to have that capacity to use your mind in that way. But when we allow ourselves to expand into the more esoteric energy and the awareness that we are so much more than just our thoughts, it gives access to all of this information. And when we allow ourselves access to that, that's when sometimes the decision literally can just pop in front of your third eye. You see it, feel it, receive it. Maybe it doesn't make the most cognitive sense in the moment. And then when you follow through, magic. It's like it was always meant to happen that way. But you wouldn't have actually found that decision had you have like sat and agonized trying to figure it out on your own from your mind. Are you following along? Do you understand what I mean here? I want to give one like very little basic example. Um, I feel like you've experienced this before. I feel like I've talked about this before. Dixie came to join us. Hi, sweet girl. Come on in. Imagine you're trying to find, I don't know, your favorite pen to write with, or you're trying to find your favorite mug to have your cup of tea in. You're trying to find that thing that you know that you want, that you need, and you just don't know exactly where it is. Maybe you're trying to remember someone's phone number and you just cannot get it through your head. Allow yourself to give yourself the space instead of trying to think, where did I see it? Where did I put it? Where did that happen? Allow yourself to actually have the experience of, I'm going to stop trying and I'm going to allow it to present to me. And by allowing it to present to me, it's going to show up on its own timeline when I am ready to receive it, not when I think that I need to know where it is. So if you're trying to find that favorite pen, maybe you really want it because you're trying to write a letter to someone that you love, but you can't find it, and that's frustrating and irritating. As soon as you can release that attachment to the emotion you're feeling about it, suddenly your favorite pen presents and you are ready and able to write that letter at that time. I know this is kind of a silly example, but I really want you to understand how much more easeful life can be when you allow yourself to connect with your intuition for some of the very basic and the very big pieces. What would it feel like if you felt like you didn't actually have to make a set decision for an entire day? If you allowed the answers to just simply present to you, what would that feel like? What would that create in your body? What would that create in your life? What kind of space would that create for you? This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about intuition and inner peace. Now, peace in itself is just space. It's quiet, it's calm, it's clear. There's so much more opportunity to just be in the present moment when you feel a sense of peace, rather than when you're constantly in your mind trying to sort things out and figure it out for yourself, right? So if you allow yourself to trust that the answer is going to present when you're ready to receive it, when the cosmos have decided that the pen is ready to show up in your life again, when you trust in that, you take away that inner like angst to know and have control. And instead, you truly lean back into more of a sense and a feeling of trust that things are going to work out as they are meant to. In order to do this, it does often require you to just kind of like take a little step back from needing to be in control of everything, which, trust me, I've worked with many clients who love having control, and they're very much in their masculine energy, and it's very uncomfortable to think about leaning back into the feminine, leaning back into just allowing things to occur as they're quote unquote meant to. But the gift of being willing to step into this realm, of being willing to really harmonize that masculine and feminine energy and release the pressure from your shoulders, it is incredible. I have one client that I'm working with right now who is incredible. She is experiencing the sensation of time extending. So in the moments when she's really present with herself and she has released the pressure from her shoulders, she's released the need to have everything done at a certain time because her mind tells her to, suddenly there's just so much more time, it seems like. And she lives a very busy life. Things are structured, organized. There's not necessarily a lot of space, but when you're present, it feels like there is. And that is what really matters most. She's able to accomplish the things that she needs to, but there's such a deep sense of trust from within that things will get done as they need to, answers will come as they need to. Big decisions don't have to be made the moment you think of it, but when you are ready and that feeling comes over you or that awareness comes to your third eye, boom, there it is. Now you're fully ready and capable to take action on it. And when you take that action, it's coming from that place of inner peace rather than inner angst. There's not enough time. I have to get this done. I need to make sure it's right. Is this the right thing to be doing, etc. Are you picking up what I'm putting down here? There's just so much more opportunity for every experience in life to feel good. Like genuinely just to feel good. And this is available to every single one of us. It's not just it's for everybody. If you're open to and willing to start doing this type of work and start exploring what it could be like for you personally, you get to have your own experience of it. And our intuition is constantly speaking to us because the intuition itself is really just a line of communication from your spirit, soul, higher self, from that God essence of you into the physical manifestation of you. And it's always like we're doing this constant cosmic dance. But when we're too busy in our mind, there's not enough space to actually hear or receive the wisdom that is already flowing through you. So if you are seeking a sense of inner peace in your life, if you're craving the opportunity to not feel so stressed out or drained or exhausted constantly by just literally just living life, just doing the things that you feel you need to do or you have to do, the things that need to get done. If you're tired of that and you haven't been recently exploring your intuition, then I highly recommend that you do. And just to go back to that example of my client again, she is someone who is highly driven, has an incredibly important career, has a couple beautiful little babies, has so much going on in her life. And within a few short months and being deeply committed to this type of work, she has allowed herself to have that experience of almost like almost timelessness when she's in that present moment. And I'm sharing this with you because I want you to know that it's available to you if you want it, if you want to explore it. Now, of course, there's many ways that you can. Listening to this podcast is a wonderful first step. Take some of the things that I'm sharing with you here and just let it sit within your system and see what you might be open to exploring or to trying. The next most wonderful step would be to join for the Intuition Series course. This course was actually something that it felt like complete divine timing the way that it showed up for me. When you listen into module 1, I think it was back in 2020 or 2021 that I recorded this. And as you're listening to it, you'll realize that at the time, my business was on one of the biggest trajectories that I had experienced. Therefore, my schedule was very full. And putting in another course was actually not something that I had on my list of what I wanted to accomplish. But in meditation, it came through so clearly that this was something that, for whatever reason, whatever gift that I get to receive, was to come through me and be shared. And so I followed that instead of telling myself, I don't have time, there's too much going on. I followed that impulse from within. And in doing so, this incredible 5-module course has been created that has served so many women. And I really, really would love the opportunity for it to immensely serve you. As I mentioned previously, when you do register, you're going to get lifetime access for the Intuition Series. So it does give you the opportunity to go through it multiple times if you desire to. I do recommend it because every time you come to meet the modules and the trainings and the information that's available there, you're coming at it from your current level of consciousness, which is constantly going to be expanding. So as you expand your awareness and your level of consciousness and you come back to the trainings, let's say in maybe another 6 months or 2 years, you're going to be receiving from it perhaps something completely different, or just like that deeper awareness and embodiment and understanding of it. Which is why, while I'm going through this live version in September, I've invited all the alumni to join me with it. And some of them are very, very excited to go through this again because it has been a couple years. Now, as I mentioned, there's 5 modules in it. You can go at it at your own pace, but if you decide to join us when we do the live version, I'm going to be suggesting we do 1 module per week. And then later on in the week, I'm also going to be leading a beautiful opportunity to really deeply sink in to your sense of presence, which is really coming into the present moment. And in doing so, you're going to get a chance to feel that sense of inner peace within you. Maybe it's brand new to you and you haven't felt it before. This will be a perfect opportunity for you to start feeling it so that you could start expanding it. Maybe this is something that you have been doing for years and you're just looking for a community, a container, and a space that you can really just like take the weight off of your shoulders of needing to do this work yourself and let yourself just be held in this container of community. And it's something that I feel really grateful to have the opportunity to showcase. This type of meditation is something that I learned many years ago and have been practicing for years. And the opportunity to come together in community. Now, this podcast, for example, hopefully you're loving it, but it's very different when I facilitate or lead in a group, in a community essence. When we have multiple women coming together, there's a chance to connect in to see what are the other women's stories that they're moving through. What are they learning from these trainings? And maybe in the way that they share it, it just comes across slightly different and you get a deeper understanding because of it. So in this program, not only will you have those trainings to watch and to listen to, but you also get a chance to connect with your community. As I mentioned, you do also, if you want it, get 50% off using the coupon code podcast50. That makes this course extremely affordable. And as I mentioned before, you get lifetime access. So I really hope that you're going to consider joining us. The Intuition series, in its essence, is really about you coming home to trusting your inner guidance. And in doing so, living with a sense of confidence and a sense of inner peace. So that whatever is happening outside of your world, you feel capable of taking it on. You feel like it's possible that you can handle another issue, another blow up, another meltdown from the kids, whatever it might be, you can handle that because you can lean on this sense of trust. That's what I really want you to experience from this, so that everyday life becomes that much more manageable and maybe even magical. Maybe you allow yourself to really start experiencing the magic of existence itself. Huh? That I truly hope that for you. In the Intuition series as well, just in case any of you feel a bit familiar with some of the content, I've created some new resources that you're going to have in the course portal. One of them specifically, I feel so excited about. It's positive affirmations, and what I'm desiring for you to use this as is an opportunity for the words within each affirmation to activate within you a sense of presence and trust. So it's not just like, I feel proud of who I am today, which is a beautiful thing, and affirmations have a time and a place. But the way that I'm going to be guiding you to use these affirmations is that these words are more of like a transmission, an energetic transmission that activate in your body, your mind, your whole awareness, all 5 layers of self, a sense of presence and connection that leads you forward. So it's kind of like this amazing energetic anchor point that calls you forward into your highest self, into your full open heart being. And from there, you get to take on life. So this is just one of the additional resources. There are quite a few that I've created, I think 4 in total. And I'm really excited to guide you through them. So please consider joining us. You can head to deannadeacon.com/intuition series. And remember to use the coupon code podcast50 for 50% off. If you're choosing to join us live, I highly, highly recommend it, and I hope you do. We will be beginning September 21st. We're going to start with a welcome party, which if you have attended any of my trainings in the past, you'll know these can be pretty fun. So I invite you to register before that to make sure you're in. You can get familiar with the course portal. There's lots of additional resources like Q&A videos that I did years ago. There'll be some new ones coming in. An opportunity for you to just really settle in to this perfect space where you get to deepen your awareness of your intuition. I can't wait to see you in there. One more time, it's deannadeacon.com/intuition series and use the coupon code podcast50 for 50% off. I'm so grateful that you joined me here today. If you loved the episode, please do me a favor and share it with someone that you think would love it as well. And if it brought up any questions or curiosities or anything like that, just send me a message, send me an email, whatever you want to do to get in touch. I love hearing about what comes up for you, what you experience from it, maybe what some of the takeaways are, or if it triggered something in you. If something felt like, I don't know, I'm not sure what that means, I need to understand it more, let me know. I love hearing from you. I hope you continue to have a magical, wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Mwah.